Helen's Teeside for the 34th week of 2024. The other night at knitting, I was absent. I had a friend visit me, so I didn't manage to get there. But Jill and Helen and the big little person all attended and very helpfully sent me some information and some footage and pictures of the things that they've been doing. So wasn't that good of them? So I can update you this week as usual. Also, Fee has finished, well, do you know how she was making this old lady's knickers pink shawl with bubbles on that kind of looked like something else, like nipples? I don't think Helen likes that word. I can think of worse. Anyway, Fee wasn't very happy with the look of this shawl, so she decided that she was going to hand paint it. And I think that the dyes that she's used, she's going to hopefully set in the sun. But I think the weather changed, but she's now hoping that it's going to change back again, so that it sets the dyes. So this is her shawl, and it looks fabulous, doesn't it? It reminds me of kind of a meadow. Oh, actually at first, when I first saw it, I did think it was self-patterning wool. What do they call it? Pooling. Sort of deliberate pooling of yarn. Anyhow, that's what Fee's been up to. Jill's been making a cardigan. She bought some 4-ply cotton in a very regal blue shade from Wool Warehouse, and is making a short sleeve cardigan from an Jenny Atkinson book. She has the pattern separate, so I think that she said something about it not being a complete pattern and only being half of the pattern. So I'll have to find out about that, because I have a Jenny Atkinson book and I might have the pattern unless it's a different book. Not quite sure about that. So Helen's been making a hat for Hector, and she's not used to doing colour work, and she's made a really good job of it. I do think that Helen's been hanging on to Hector for rather too long. And Hector's owner is probably missing him, so I think he'll be going back sometime soon. I have been working on my Smooth Fox Round Ripple Beginners baby blanket, and here it is. It's got bigger. So baby's nickname is Strawberry at the moment, and it's not a strawberry colour, but I did think I might edge it with this, like a dusty pink colour, and I did think I might be able to do sort of a strawberry shape, but that might not work, and I might just end up doing a shell, just to make it kind of like, to finish it off in a pretty way for a little girl. So I'm enjoying this now. I wasn't sure at first. My wool's a little bit textured as well, and I think it really does suit the blanket. So with it being the sort of circular shape, she'll be able to fold it and use it like that, won't she? I think it's nice. Anyway, that's cotton with a bit of a slob through it. And this isn't exactly the same make. This is silk, cotton silk. But I think I only have the one. I might find another one somewhere. But that's that. So that's going well. I am wearing, I can't really tell you much about it. It's made with double knitting yarn and was in a knitting magazine and has this 2-colour edge, rib edge all the way. And that was when I learned how to put to take the yarn backwards and forwards in between the stitches. Otherwise you just end up with a big mess and not the 2-coloured rib that you wish for. And it's a little bit love hearty for me. And I'm not quite sure what happened with the sleeves, because they weren't like that on the pattern, but they're like that on me. So I don't know if I made a mistake or not. Anyway, today I am drinking echinacea tea. And it was so hard to get the lid off. I had to cut it open with a knife. It's supposed to protect me from all ailments. The funny thing is, I've been wanting this plant for a long time in my garden, and I bought one last week. And I potted it yesterday. I planted it out yesterday, and it was quite a good sized plant from the garden centre. And when I got it out of the pot, there was 2 really. So I've got them in 2 different places. And then today I went back to the garden centre again and I got a hydrangea, which is really beautiful. At my local post office, there was some yarn bombing, and it is crochet. So this happens quite often in my area. And I don't know who's doing it, which is odd, isn't it? I should really. So this yarn bombing was dedicated to the 3 little girls who were killed at their summer dance event in Southport. So there's beads in front of each one, and I thought I'll take some photographs and show you, because it was a lot of nice work. So I've got the names here. Elsie Stankham, who was 7, Baby King, who was 6, and Alice De Silva Agra, who was 9. So I thought that was really nice. It was a really nice thing to do. It's really sad. I don't know if any of the parents would know that this has happened. This crochet bombing. So anyway, they did a good job of it, so I thought you'd like to see it. But it is a little bit sad, isn't it? Like a lot sad. Right, so my drink, my echinacea, is in this floaty doodah that I always make my herbal loose tea in. Ooh, the steam's a bit hot. That's what I make my licorice tea in. In fact, when I buy licorice tea, it always has one of them in the box from where I buy it from. So that's handy, isn't it? It's going to be too hot. So what was going on at knitting the other night? Well, Helen has a bit of... She gets upset when her balls of acrylic collapse and go knotty and silly. And she did ask if anybody had a wool winder. So Jill volunteered to take hers along, and they set it up in Costa, and she wound quite a few cakes of yarn so that they'd be easier to use. She also has tinsel yarn, which she says is a nightmare. So I think she's done that too. Or she's going to, she borrowed the equipment to do that at home. But the manager, John, he was watching as well, and he was absolutely fascinated with it. I did suggest that she just bought one because she wouldn't regret it. When I bought mine, I'd got a hank of 500 grams of double knit wool that I'd bought cheap because it hadn't been processed into its skeins, and spent quite a bit of time trying to wind that. I went crazy actually. I bought myself a wool winder, and one Christmas Tim bought me a Swift, and it's kind of like a homemade Swift. It's like it opens and folds, like, how would you say? Anyway, it opens and folds, but it's only sort of kind of delicate, and I can't do anything really big on it. And I went to town, got all my skeins out, and had lots of fun that Christmas holiday, winding my yarn. Something else I was experimenting with was, I have a dress that I'd got a mark on right here, and it was a cream summer dress made out of cotton. Couldn't get this mark off, but there's some flowers at the waist, so I thought what I might do is move the flowers to here. But I'm not a very pale colour, I don't wear many pale colours, so in the kitchen cupboard for about the last decade I've had this packet of purple dye. So I flung a few other things in, and it's come out a lovely colour. And then it says on the packet to put your washing machine on afterwards with nothing in to get rid of the dye, which I did. And then I thought I'll do a descale as well. So I put a third load on, which had descaler in it, and there was still purple in the water, so it's a good job I didn't put any washing in. But it worked very well, and I do like the colour. And I actually flung a few pairs of knickers in, and they came out really good. In fact, they came out purple with pink elastic. Clever, eh? Look at these horrible old wishy-washy colours. They're no good for me anyway. So this is apparently intense violet, and it's all going to get shoved in there together, and we'll see what happens. Bye. Turn it on. Oh, I think it said 40. I don't know whether that says 40 and 60. Oh, is it cotton wash? 40. That must be it, mustn't it? Let's see what happens. Will it be instantaneous? It's just that's a weighing. I don't think there's any water in there yet. Ooh. Was I supposed to wet them first?
You're dying.
Yeah. I'm not going to wear them if they come out like that. Come on, water. Mix it up. If it was red, it'd look like a bloodbath, wouldn't it? So this colour's intense violet. Maybe I should have sprinkled it around a bit more. Oh, pets. Millie's a lot better than she's ever been, and she's also a lot noisier. She just meows. I think the last time I had a girl cat, she was the same. Is this a normal thing? I'm sure quite a few of you have cats. Do you have male cats or female cats? And are female cats more meowy than male cats? Because I think they are. Anyway, she's all right. And she's had her ears cleaned today. It's a weekend job. And when I put the cotton wool on my finger in her ear, she started purring. So that was all right. She wasn't too bothered about having her ears cleaned. Lottie has been to the vets this week because she keeps doing a funny thing with her mouth like that. And she's been a bit bothered. We found out that she needs a tooth taken out. So she's going in a couple of weeks to have that done. The thing about big glasses and fringes is, where'd you put your fringe? Anyhow, she's got to have a tooth taken out. While they're there, they're going to clean the rest, and I'm going to tell them one tooth, because I've heard all sorts of things about vets taking more than one out. So hopefully they don't take the mickey. Not with me. This tastes very herbal, and it does taste very nice as well. And I can't read you the ingredients because I've cut through them. So that's exactly where I put the top off. I also bought coffee. I went in TK Maxx, which is a shop that sells absolutely everything, and I'd never be bothered trying any clothes on, and I only ever buy tea and coffee and bits of shampoo and things. I do a memory test, see what I can remember I bought. I bought some filter coffee, some proper coffee, which was caramel, and I bought some instant coffee, which was vanilla flavoured, and I bought echinacea tea, and oh, I'm sure I bought something else. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, that's a little bit of waffle, isn't it, at the end? So I think that's it for this week. So more news, maybe next week.